Young, and we're so delighted to spend the afternoon with you in a venue that's dedicated to creating great kids, not only artists, but entrepreneurs. And so to settle in for a Saturday afternoon to hear a show that is an original work, Earth and Soul, we have produced 2 other times in our history. It's been 10 years since we produced it, but for you to know this original work started with the kids you're going to see today, and then went to a group of songwriters and poets, all whom live primarily here in Fort Worth. So beautiful words of encouragement to take care of the planet. And we'll be touring it. We'll lift off the tour in October and be touring this show with about 55 kids through the school year. So as you're watching, if it looks like something that should land in your community or in your office boardroom, then be sure and call us. We would love to come perform where you live. The other tradition at this time, in addition to producing an original musical that lifts off in July, is that the front row is always full of people we adore and people who do this for a living. And so they sit on the front row with us and then step up into a cameo to give us also that sense of childlike artist. And so the artists that are with us today, VJ Cleveland, Matt Ransdell. And the group that will also be joining us that will fill up the left side and one chair here is the Bhakti House Band. You'll hear a tambourine and you'll see an entrance of someone who is not 7 years old. And so for the adults who believe in kids, we're thankful for you and for coming regularly to sit on the front row. This is Hope Wilton.
Hello, my name is Hope Wilton, and I am the Education Director here at Kids Who Care. And as you're watching today, if this looks like fun to you, we would love for you to join us in class this fall. So we have information in the lobby, and if you have any questions, I would love to talk to you after the show.
I'm Catherine Albright, and I have 3 bits of information that you need to know. First of all, should you wish to send a note to someone that you see on stage, perhaps a seed of encouragement, you can buy this cute little envelope in the lobby for $1. It benefits the Kid Power Leadership Fund, and it has seeds inside of it so they can plant that, but then you can also write this great note. So if you'd like to do that, that's in the lobby. Number 2, if all of that horrible change is weighing down your pocket or in your handbag and it's so heavy, the Kid Power Leadership Board would love to avail you of that. There is a great bottle in the lobby. You can be part of the change. So make that happen for them. Thank you so much.
That's hilarious.
Thank you. I'm trying. And third but not least, if you would love to live a healthy life, perhaps live to be 100 or more, if you would love to know more about healthy eating and being great for the environment, there's this great thing called the Blue Zones Project that the city of Fort Worth participates in. Kids Who Care is also a Blue Zones organization. So if you want to know more about that, if you want to change your life, there's information in your program as well as in the lobby. So I hope you'll do that. You'll appreciate it later in life.
And as a friendly reminder, please no photos or videos during the performance, and please just turn them off so it doesn't interrupt the show. Thank you.
You don't need to speak to anyone when you're inside this theater. So we're all here to have fun. We're joining you in the audience. Have a great time. We'll see you after the show. Thank you for believing kids. We're delighted to hear you.
in danger of losing up to 50% of all living species on the end of this planet by the end of this century. And already,
We are spewing 110 million tons of heat trapped in global warming pollution every 24 hours.
400,000 record-breaking
13
temperatures.
of the 15 years in this young century and
Record-breaking storms.
What's all this fuss about global warming and stuff?
What's all this fuss about the world?
What's all this fuss about clean air and green grass, about animals that are going to disappear?
With each little formula and each little vial in our pristine white coats, we continue to smile.
We are the rulers of this land. Nature is ours to command.
We can beat Mother Nature at her own game. We'll grow new animals made from old parts.
We will design better walls to withstand your squalls. We will design new plants with multiple hearts.
What's all this fuss about vapors and gases?
About plastic and landfills and large ugly houses.
What's all this fuss about pollution and stuff?
Nature is ours to command.
I never thought it could happen to me.
I never knew it was a problem.
The signs were all there.
I would spend hours on the couch, unable to move.
I couldn't appreciate flowers or sunsets, anything.
I just wanted to sit there, staring at the TV,
Never going out.
never playing with friends.
And that's when my doctor told me.
That's when we knew. Nature deficit disorder.
It's affecting millions of kids every day. And most of these remain undiagnosed. Scientists are working on the problem.
They say years from now, they'll simply be able to recreate the feeling of being outside. But for many kids,
Years is just too long to wait.
Nature deficit disorder. Help us find a cure today.
Hey, Jay, you earth?
What?
You know, like earthing, man. Walking around barefoot and stuff. We have like one electrode running through us at all times, and when we flip a switch on, we have like 9.
What? That's crazy, man. Like a constant stream of consciousness.
Yes! A stream of consciousness!
Okay. So,
Bring it in now, Jai Jai Ma, 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 Jai Jai Ma. Feel her in your heart, merging with the sound, and everything you see from the sky to the ground. Mahamaya, the dreams coming true, rising from the earth in the form that is you. Yonder we started with Bute Shu. Marumena Sonsita, Namaste Shai, Namaste Shai, Namaste Shai, Namo Nama. Hey Ma, hey Ma, hey Ma, hey Ma, hey.
Show me the light in the butterfly's eye. Show me the dreams of the earth and the sky. Show me the night. Show me the day. Show me the secret that dances away. There is a rainbow. I wish I could climb like a tree, and a bug and a boulder that beckons me.
Swinging from your branches, watching you sway in the gentlest of winds, sitting beneath you, hoping that little trees don't grow up all at once.
My grandpa and grandma taught me how to love the earth in simple ways. I long for summers spent in Kansas, which built in me a love of the dirt. We would arrive in the middle of the night. After all, it was a long drive from West Texas to Coffeyville.
Me, like a hunter, like a tree with roots so deep, sprouts so high, like a volcano ready to explode.
Swinging from your branches as a child, I realized your strength and beauty, watching you sway in the gentlest of winds.
The incredible pleasure of Grandma's strong hug and settling down to bed, falling asleep to the tick-tock of the wind-up alarm clock,
Sitting beneath you and sharing my secrets, making a wish with your powder puff balloons.
the fun of digging in the dirt with Grandpa, the sun beating down on us, and then squeezing in front of the one window unit to cool off.
Running with the wind in my hair and the sun warm on my face.
swinging from your branches, watching you sway, making a wish with your tiniest of blooms.
Watering the flowers, the smell of purple petunias, rocking on the front porch and visiting with neighbors, snapping green beans, drinking iced tea. Out of breath.
Hoping that little trees don't grow up all at once, leaving my home for the last time.
Lessons learned and examples made of how to be a person who takes time to care, to nurture. Happy!
I felt your strong shadow over me, letting me know that you're never too far.
Like fall with leaves shedding, getting ready for the cold. Like a blue, smooth, calm. Cared for, nurtured. It's a good circle.
One day, as I played checkers with my cousin, a black and yellow fellow flew by and buzzed.
It gave us quite a scare.
And Dargate flew in the air, and we jumped and ran without further discussion.
The honeybees fly through the trees and land upon the flowers. Their little hairy legs pick up the pollen. They keep doing this for hours.
We raced for the back door, our feet a flying.
It was a bee!
And we feared painful dying.
The big fat queen sits in the hive and keeps the babies warm. The drone bees work all the day to keep her safe from harm.
We stood behind a tree and waited, quiet.
The bee flew by, and we were frightened by it.
The worker bees do all the rest to keep the hive intact. They then fly back to the beehive base and waggle dance a map.
That's when our grandma came up really fussing.
Don't be scared by buzzing bees, you silly cousins.
Without the bees, there'll be less sweet smells on the breeze.
And the plants might die off by the dozens.
The busy bees work all the day and through the nighttime too to make the honey golden sweet. I'm awfully glad, aren't you?
Imagine entering your local grocery store only to learn that everyday items such as coffee, apples, milk, and butter are out of stock. Permanently. This might seem absurd, but it could happen. All of these foods, coffee,
Apples,
milk, and butter, have one thing in common. They depend on pollination from honeybees. To show the crucial bee to people to table connection, one Whole Foods store recently emptied its shelves of
coffee, apples,
milk, and butter. The produce section was barren.
Watermelon!
carrots,
The dairy aisle was missing.
Butter! And cheese!
The store lost half its products. Bee to people to table. If we don't have bees, that's a sting that everyone will feel.
I like eating honey with my honey, and I like eating sweet things with my sweetie. But if we kill all the bees that are buzzing on the breeze, no honey with my sweetie? That's not funny.
Every summer, my family and I travel across the world, 3,000 miles away, to the culturally diverse country of India. Place where the air is pure and sweet.
heat is to drink plenty of water. My parents always remind me to only drink boiled or bottled water because unlike in America, where I can just turn on the tap and easily get clean water, in India, the water is often contaminated. Outside my grandparents' house, I see people standing in long lines under the hot sun, waiting to fill up buckets with water from a tap. I see children who look about the same age as me, filling up these clear plastic bottles with dirty water from streams on the roadside. Watching these kids forced to drink water that I felt was too dirty to touch changed me. This unacceptable social injustice compelled me to want to find a solution. I wanted to know why these kids lack clean water. Water is a universal human right.
It was late afternoon when we arrived, covered in sand after a long motorcycle ride. Inside Malawin's bamboo hut, she offered us hot tea and scolded us for traveling through dangerous elephant territory.
Malawin was a shopkeeper in a farming village in the western Bago Mountains. Back when the mountains were covered in trees, elephants and people lived in harmony. But now their habitats are being cut and burned down for rubber plantations.
The elephants were being forced to roam long distances to survive.
Sometimes they knocked down villagers' bamboo huts and threatened farmers in the fields.
Even so, the farmers told us they loved the elephants, calling them respected elder. Humans tend to use progress as an excuse to discard old traditions and destroy the environment.
As a result, the elephant population has dwindled.
But after hearing about so many people's high regard for the elephants in Myanmar,
we have hope for these gentle giants.
I'm haunted by the thought of what Ray Anderson calls tomorrow's child. Asking why we didn't do something on our watch while there was still time. Well, now is that time.
I put my finger on a map. There's someone living there. Someone who gets sad and happy. Someone who's scared. I wonder if they see the moon when they look up at night. And do they dream of anything when they turn out the lights? A few inches, a million miles away, in our separate places, but all the same, living with each other, closer all the time. Someday everybody will be thinking with a universal mind. With a universal mind. Lying on a sunny hill, staring at the sky. Does anybody see them as they go floating by? There goes an elephant riding in a car, and an evil dragon smoking a cigar. The clouds that I'm chasing will bring you rain. Our faces are different, but they're still the same. Living with each other, closer all the time. Someday everybody will be thinking with a universal mind. With a universal mind.
outer space. Añade agua.
E presto.
Instant Earth. Perfect in case of world destruction or just a place to get away.
Voi probabilmente vi starete chiedendo, sembra costoso.
You're probably wondering, gee, sounds expensive.
Pero no, estás equivocado.
But you're wrong. This amazing new breakthrough
Non costa $39,95.
isn't $39.95.
Pero no, $29,95.
Not $29.95, but just a low $19.95.
Esatto, solo $19,95.
That's right, just $19.95.
A tú ahora llévate una tostadora gratis.
Act now and get a free toaster oven. Any reproduction of Cheer Earth is strictly prohibited. Water not included. Do you own a car? Do you drive a motorcycle? Ever go boating? Then you have a need for gasoline. From deep within the earth, we trail through a beautiful field where wildlife once roam free, sucking the ground dry. All to bring you, our faithful customers, gasoline at the very low price of $6.89 a gallon. Gasoline! It's fueling your life!
15 things I want to share with all of my roommates sharing this home planet with me. And yes, that means you guys. 1, I've never been the type to consider myself an environmentalist. I never knew enough about it all to understand, and I never understood enough about the science of it all to actually care. And to be honest with you guys, the vocabulary and terminologies alone kind of confused me. 2, for example, there is way too much carbon. And I don't even know if I'm saying that right because I don't even know what carbon really is. But there's carbon footprints, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, carbon neutral, carbon offsetting, carbon rationing, carbon sink, carbon tax. There's even carbon tacos. Well, those are carbon tacos, which is actually a different thing. But yeah, I think you get my point. 3, embarrassing fun fact that I'm going to share with you. When I was younger, I thought global warming was a good thing. I can explain. The globe where we live, that's good. Warmth, something that's not too hot, not too cold, that's good. Global warming, that's good. Like my birthday's in late October and you're telling me I can have a pool party? That's good. 4, it didn't take too long to realize that there is absolutely nothing cool about destroying our planet. 5, I think it clicked for me when I realized we call her Mother. Mother Nature, Mother Earth. Mother has never been a title attached to something worth disrespecting. Mother has always been a title attached to the most important of things. 6, my mother is the most powerful woman I know. 7, you will see an entirely different side of me if you ever disrespect my mom. 8, then why do we disrespect ours? Our Mother Earth. 9, I've never understood why the golden rule didn't also apply to our surroundings. 10, you wouldn't want somebody destroying your beautiful positivity with their negative litter, so why do you do it to the land you walk on? 11, I just got back from the beach, and it broke my heart to see such gorgeous waves crashing upon black sand that glistened brighter than diamonds, but only led up to plastic bags and empty bottles and all sorts of other garbage. 12, now that I'm older and wiser, I've learned something very important. Captain Planet may have been the coolest superhero of all time now that I actually know what he stood for. 13, what do you stand for? Because we just need you to not be lazy. Like, think about your usage and walk the extra few feet to actually throw your trash away, like actually into the trash can. Or, if you like to shoot it like a basketball, when you inevitably miss, do me a favor and like Coach said, get your dang rebound and throw that away too. 14, I don't think we have to dig deep to realize that none of us want our beautiful blue skies to be grayed by the darkness of pollution. None of us want species and animals to fade off the face of this earth. And none of us want hundreds of thousands of people to suffer just because they don't have access to clean water. 15, we can take care of and save our planet. We just have to care.
Freaking fracking!
At the talking.
Drilling deep.
No relaxing! Watering, gas flows free!
Money in, spending spree. Water in, gas comes out.
What is all the fuss about?
There and here and there, the rigs popped up just everywhere.
Drilling rigs with big beige walls, blue tanker trucks to make the halls.
Machinery noise all throughout the night.
With bright, intense security light.
It's all safe and sound. The gasman safe.
All those little trimmers will go up.
It's not us that make the quakes.
They're not the ones who create the shakes.
Freaking fracking!
The earth is clacking.
Freaking fracking
Earth attacking! Freaking fracking!
The earth is clacking.
Drilling deep.
No relaxing!
There it is. The Earth. That's where all our assets are. We've been trolling them down much faster than our natural systems can replenish them.
Yet, we have this idea. We humans that the Earth, all of it, the oceans, the skies, the forests, are so vast and so resilient. It doesn't matter what we do.
That may have been true 10,000 years ago, maybe even 1,000. But in the past 100, especially the past 50, we've drawn down our assets.
The air, the water, the wildlife that makes our lives possible. Now technologies are helping us to understand the nature of what's happening, and showing us our impact on the earth.
I mean, first you have to know you've got a problem.
And fortunately, in our time, we've learned more about these problems than in all preceding history.
And with knowing comes caring.
And with caring comes hope that we can find an enduring place for ourselves.
Within the natural systems that support us. But first, we have to know.
Once there was a tree, and the tree loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come and he would gather her leaves and make crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb her trunk and swing from her branches. He would eat her apples. They would play hide and seek. And when he was tired, he would rest in her shade. The boy loved the tree very much. And the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often left alone. One day the boy returned, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come. Come and play in my branches. Climb my trunk, swing from my branches, and eat my apples. When you're tired, you can rest in my shade." And the boy said, "I'm too old to play and climb trees. I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money." "Well," said the tree, "I have no money. I only have leaves and apples. But you may take my apples and carry them to the city. You can sell them there, and then you will have money, and you will be happy." So the boy climbed her trunk, and he gathered all of her apples, and he carried them off to the city. And the tree was happy. But time went by, and the tree was often left alone. The boy was gone for a very long time. And the one day he returned, the tree was so happy she shook with joy. "Oh, come, boy, come. Come play on my branches. Climb my trunk and swing from my branches. And when you're tired, you can sleep in my shade." And the boy said, I'm too busy to climb trees. I want a house to keep me warm. I want a wife and children. And I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "Well," said the tree, "I have no house. The forest is my house. But you may take my branches and build a house, and then you will be happy." And so the boy climbed the tree, and he took her branches, and he built a house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a very long time, and the tree became very sad. One day he returned, and the tree was so happy she could barely speak. "Come, boy, come. Come play, climb my trunk, and then sleep in my shade." And the boy said, "I'm too old and sad to climb and play with trees. I want a boat so I can sail far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" And the tree said, "Well, you may take my trunk and you can make a boat, and then you can sail far away and you will be happy." And so the boy cut down the tree's trunk and he made a boat and he sailed far away. And the tree was happy, but not very. The boy stayed away for a very long time, and one day he returned. And the tree said, "Hello, boy. I'm sorry, but I have nothing else to give you. I have no apples for you to eat." And the boy said, "My teeth are too weak to eat apples." And the tree said, "I'm sorry, boy, but I have no branches for you to swing from." And the boy said, I am too old to swing from branches." And the tree said, "I'm sorry, boy, but I have no trunk for you to climb." And the boy said, I am too tired to climb." "I'm sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I am just an old stump. I have nothing left to give you." "Well, I am very old and tired. I just need a place to sit and to rest." "Well," said the tree, and she straightened herself up as tall as she could, and she said, "An old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, come and sit. Sit and rest." And the boy did exactly that. And the tree was happy.
The rainbow trout all swim about in water that's getting warmer. And diseases grow in waters once cold, but the fish don't have any armor.
The mountain bark beetles eat the white bark pines in the warmer mountain air, and they destroy the pre-hibernation diet of the noble grizzly bear.
And the warmer mountain meadows are too hot to grow glacial lilies, and the flowers are slowly dying off since mountain nights aren't so chilly.
It's time to stop these nasty trends. Will you save our plant and animal friends?
Or will we lose them all before time comes to an end?
It depends.
It depends.
And it depends.
50 years ago, when I began exploring the ocean, no one, not Jacques Perrin, not Jacques Cousteau, imagined that we could do anything to harm the ocean by what we put into it or by what we took out of it. It seemed at the time to be a Sea of Eden. But now we know. And now we're facing paradise lost. If you think that the ocean isn't important, imagine the Earth without it. Mars comes to mind. No ocean, no life support system.
I listened to the sound of the ocean over the sound of my own breath. I used to lie on the beach and think I was hearing the sound of the universe breathing. Where else can you hear this? Hardly anywhere. That wonderful sound of infinity.
teachers, everyone used to tell me, leave this place better than you found it. Whenever you left the classroom, lock Leave this place better than you found it.
Here's a fact that I bet would surprise you. If you take all the new electricity generating systems installed worldwide last year, what percentage of it would you think came from solar and wind?
5.
The answer's 90.
Leave this place better than you found it.
The Palm Beach Zoo has decided to carpool one day a month. There are 100 employees. Not just the business office, but the full staff. And they can report the savings of carbon emission for that one day a month, times 12 days a year, of just one staff in the universe trying.
Leave this place better than you found it.
The Mississippi River was literally my backyard. During the summer, I worked on the river. To save money, I'd camp on the islands and shorelines, and I began to realize how neglected the rivers were, with trash all along their banks.
The trash in our path blows through the streets, burrows into gardens, and catches on trees. What does it take to stop and pick it up?
Bicycles, less than a sneeze, equal to a hiccup. What our brains say, freeze, dirty, someone else touched it. You might get sick.
In 1997, Chad decided that if no one else was going to clean up the river, he would. And at the age of 23, he founded Living Lands and Waters.
Since I started this project, me, my crew, and over 87,000 volunteers have collected over 8.4 million pounds of trash. We've retrieved 78,368 tires,
1,105 refrigerators,
1,105 Kühlschränke,
312 hot water heaters,
312 calentadores de agua,
172 barbecue grills,
172 grille da barbecue,
57 lawnmowers,
57 cortadores de césped,
57 lawnmowers, 115 bicycles,
115 biciclette,
698 toy dolls,
698 Puppen,
and 105
bowling balls.
I'm creating a chance for people to go out there and do something positive. A lot of people call me a conservationist or an environmentalist, but the thing is, I'm no different than anybody else.
Think about our grandparents and great-grandparents. They save everything.
String, foil.
I can't believe it's not butter containers.
They even wash plastic bags to use and reuse.
Waste not, want not.
Recycling is not a new idea.
You've heard the saying, everything in moderation, right? Well, if you haven't, you have now. Everything in moderation. This phrase applies to almost anything you encounter.
Have a bite of dessert.
Not the whole cake.
Talk a little less. Listen a little more.
Don't attempt to run a marathon when the furthest you've run in years is to run to the bathroom.
Everything is okay in moderation.
So what I think we should do is apply this principle to the rest of our life. So I've adapted this phrase, use a little less.
Use a little less water. Stop solving your problems in the shower. You're just creating more problems by wasting all of that water. And chances are, you won't remember your brilliant plans by the time you've put on pens.
Use a little less toilet paper. You're using too much. Trust me. Just watch the commercials with the bears on it. They'll explain.
Use a little less light. When you leave a room, just turn off the lights. It's so simple. Use a little less plastic. Go buy a reusable water bottle. It's good for the planet, and you look cool.
Use a little less paper towels. Okay, this is a fun one because we're definitely using too many paper towels. When in a public bathroom, you only need one paper towel. Yep, that's right, I said it. I learned this from a TED Talk, so it must be true. When in a public bathroom after you wash your hands, to take out your hands and shake like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You can even practice it diet.
Or you could do a little dance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I don't remember why the number was 12. Maybe it's how many months are in a year, or it's just the biggest one-syllable number. I don't know. So, after you shake, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Grab a a towel. One paper towel. Fold it in half and voila, dry hands. It really works. Go home. Try it.
Save the planet one paper towel at a time.
Work with nature and not against her. We got problems, she's got the answer. Let's get busy and work together.
I've analyzed and debated all energy. It's never lost or created, just constancy.
A raindrop, drop falling on the mountaintop. Drop, drops to the bottom before it stops.
Nourishing the plants, animals, and insects. It's entropy, and you and me have got to respect.
Energy above, life at the bottom. Each step I heard, permaculture's got.
Do you put in more than you get out? We came from a flood and created a drought.
So start digging swales and put in a pond. You'll soon be sustainable and beyond.
So catch the drip drops falling off of your roof. Limestone for acid purity is proof.
Paying for petroleum ain't no fun. So heat with the power of the angle of the sun. Whoa.
Work with nature and not against her. We've got problems, she's got the answer. Let's get busy and work together. Work with nature and not against her. We've got problems, she's got the answer. Let's get busy and work together.
Respect the tiny and the large. Relationships are key when you try to recharge.
Feed the fungi, leave the worms. Respect the agile and kind of dirt.
If the soil is healthy, then so are you. There's a living in this, and you can find it too.
There's no limit to our imagination. New symbiosis for regeneration. Ha! Now as you're planning your self-sustaining systems, remember these concepts, I've got a list.
Multiple functions with tendency. Multiplication and entropy.
From micro to macro for all of the time. Look for the rhythm. Pattern is rhyme.
All life has an order and you will see you're right in the middle of where you should be. Stand like a tree, flow like the waters. Save all the earth for your sons and your daughters. Then stand like a tree, flow like the waters. Save all the earth for your sons and your daughters.
So harmonize with cosmic forces. Make a world with infinite resources. Life reborn from all unreborn says. We gotta work with nature and not against her. We got problems, she's got the answer. Let's get busy and work together. And work together. And work together. Let's work together.
The best way to predict the future is to invent it.
Der beste Weg, die Zukunft vorauszusagen, ist, sie selber zu
La
gestalten.
mejor manera de predecir el futuro es inventándolo.
My wish is a big wish, if we can make it happen. For the children of today, for tomorrow's child. As never again, now is the time.
Bring back the wild in the wilderness, while you can still hear the drum inside you, the planet's pool, the swishing drive of the breath of life, because you are close enough to see the creation of the butterfly's eye.
Take a step. When you're looking for an answer, be very quiet. And a circle of light will appear just beyond your feet. Then, you can step into the light.
Take a step if you think you've heard the answer, then another and another, and you will find your way.
The earth needs you to listen. Step into the light.
Oh, please.